Greetings. We were at Google Plus. We were at David Miller 666. We were reading a recent post. David's Great Dope Debate, Round 1.
Here are some excerpts of some interesting comments that were made after I posted a comment regarding a post about medical marijuana. It begins with my original comment. David Miller. The right to self-medicate must be recognized and protected by law. Repeal the Controlled Substances Act and all similar legislation at the international, federal, state, and local levels. In addition to cannabis, other plants have also been utilized for thousands of years, but access to these beneficial plants has been artificially restricted because of unwise drug prohibitions. Opium, poppy, coca, peyote, psilocybe mushrooms, cat, and numerous other plants have long been consumed by human beings and have properties that can improve the quality of life for millions of human beings. The potential benefits of lifting restrictions on these substances outweighs the potential harm in doing so. Synthetic substances should also be freely available for those who experience improved quality of life by consuming them in an informed and intelligent manner. Harm reduction can be achieved and benefits can be realized. Now, here are some excerpts of conversation that occurred after I posted my original comment. Here's an individual, Emincoy. I once saw an Adam and Eve painting where the tree with the fruit of knowledge is a marijuana tree. I laughed out loud at it. Now looking back, I should have bought it. David Miller. In the book of Revelation in chapter 22, Verse 2, there is a strange tree of life, or trees, described, which bore 12 fruits, each tree yielding its fruit every month. The leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. Is this tree a cannabis plant or a hybrid of all the currently prohibited drug plants that is described?
Kenneth M. David Miller, modern MJ, is so modified it did not exist in biblical times. Medicine is taken in exact doses, not smoked.
David Miller. Kenneth M., I am not sure what you mean, but there is abundant scholarly research indicating that high-potency cannabis strains were known and even cultivated going back at least several thousand years, and that cannabis was well known to biblical and Mediterranean peoples, as was opium. Also, although I am an agnostic and don't necessarily believe what is in the Bible, the quote in Revelation presumably refers to events that have not yet occurred. As for your second comment, informed and intelligent people can readily self-medicate and consume plant-based medicinals in approximate doses, and especially by smoking can titrate the dose according to how much effect is desired or is necessary. Substances such as cannabis and opium have been consumed that way for thousands of years. I have a medical text from 1922 which instructs individuals with asthma to roll cigarettes of dried Datura stramonium leaves, in other words, Jimson weed, and to smoke them until bronchospasms are relieved. In South America, indigenous people have been self-medicating with coca leaves for thousands of years without determining the exact doses of cocaine they contain. Native Americans consume peyote and psilocybe mushrooms for centuries without precisely measuring the amount consumed, and many contemporary Americans do the same now. Contemporary coffee consumers and cigarette smokers consume whatever amount they desire of the plant materials. Here are some more excerpts of conversation that occurred after I posted my original comment.
Kenneth M. David Miller, if your source is anything other than High Times, send me a link. I would love to read about it.
David Miller. Kenneth M., since I have all the other details of my life to attend to rather than doing research for you, how about you send me links that refute what I said?
Kenneth M. That's okay, David Miller. I grew up around stoners. I understand you probably made shit up on the spot. For some reason, I am okay with that. Keep reading High Times, bro. It's like CNN for addicts.
Jophus Nofus responded, wow, people arguing about weed kind of goes against the point. David Miller, I did not make stuff up on the spot. Rather, I tried to condense decades of research and personal experience into a couple of sentences. I published the sentences on Google Plus, not in a scientific journal. Therefore, I did not feel obligated to cite the myriad sources of my information. While I appreciate High Times for promoting drug policy reform and celebrating cannabis culture, I have in fact ran into some disinformation over the years in that publication, and again, its focus is almost exclusively on cannabis. I have also always been somewhat suspicious of a publication whose major source of revenue over the years seems to have been International Oddities, a company that sells fake pot-like products that are labeled not fit for human consumption. A couple of names that come to mind that you might look into to start your research are Albert Hoffman, Evan Schultz, Gordon Wasson, Robert S. DeRope, Howard Becker, and Timothy Leary. I meant to include Lester Grinspoon, too, was one of my early influences. Those are just a couple of the names that come to mind on the spot. I also spent 40 years consuming cannabis, opiates, stimulants, psychedelics, etc. And those experiences also have had a profound influence on my opinions, and I feel give me some credibility when speaking about such issues. More recently, I have been experimentally abstaining from most substances, except that I am very nicotine dependent, and I believe that nicotine does have some health benefits, and I consume lots of Venom low-calorie energy drinks. I also like poppy seeds and find that they have very beneficial effects and are superior to brand cereals for treating my
irritable bowel syndrome.
Thanks for listening. Bye.